behind early, it's going to be really hard to come back. But if they get the level 2 advantage over Caitlyn and Thresh, they could.
Especially against the Caitlyn.
Yeah, for sure.
The Caitlyn can really punish them if the Leona and Draven get behind, especially with the Thresh to puppy guard the Caitlyn. But I do think that if they just go ham and don't care about anything and come away with like an early kill, get an early advantage, they might be able to just take it away and just snowball from there.
It's interesting we saw a Dorn shield coming out by Thresh. Most people go Relic shield now for the sustain.
Yeah, it's really interesting that he chose at least to go Dorn shield, especially because the lane is a little aggressive on the Caitlyn.
Yeah, that's true.
But the heal after trading is actually a lot better than most people think. This level 1 seems to be a little bit all over the place.
It's weird that they keep going after they walk through wards, because they're really open on their blue side now. For all they know, Red could be warding up their blue side.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
It just seems like they're going to start standardly. I don't think any late invades are going to come out unless blue side decides to invade red buff. But
it looks like Alistar's going for a cheese bottom lane level 1. You see this sometimes in solo queue, but I don't know. Let's see if it works. They have no way of knowing it's happening either.
The invade from blue side on Lee Sin's red is actually critically important. If they consolidate 3 buffs off here and Lee Sin gets out of the jungle without a red buff,
this is going to be really bad for Draven and Leona. Because like I said before, if they get behind early, it's over. Oh, there it is. Yep. And then Alistar can just teleport to top now and not lose much. That's a really big lead for Red.
I think if Draven actually used the summoner spells, he might have been able to
he definitely could have
away
lived. I don't know why he
yeah, I'm surprised he actually didn't burn anything. The early kill going to Caitlyn is exactly how they needed to start for this.
Oh, and the level 2 gang, this could be really good.
The all-in at level 1 from the Lissandra is actually really surprising.
Oh, if he hit that Q, that was a kill for sure. But they just got summoner spells.
Oh, since Lee Sin got to see the Jarvan, he knows that his red is gone, so he can go into the enemy jungle and take that.
Bottom lane's also getting completely zoned right now.
Especially because the Thresh got to go up.
Alright. Ooh.
Yeah, just a little bit of trade there. Successful red steal. That's actually probably the savior for Lee Sin here. If he didn't get that red and he lost all 3 buffs, he'd be really far behind, especially if Jarvan decided to go like an early quill coat. He wouldn't be able to 2v1 or 2v2 or 1v1 at all in the jungle.
This Jarvan's really going to need to grab his blue and then head down to bot lane because they're going to be in a lot of trouble.
I do expect the Jarvan to focus on mid a lot more, especially soon, because Lissandra did burn her flash early on, or he still has the luxury of hers. I would like to see the Mundo have at least early TP pressure bot side if they do get into position to do like early dragons, etc., because Alistar doesn't have a way to answer with that. We do see Jarvan still focusing a lot of his pressure on the mid side like I expected, but he's really not pulling the trigger and going on for those games. Actually, they do get countered here. That actually turns out really, really well for the Orianna again.
Yeah, we're fighting bot lane as well. Oh, he needs to run away. That's another kill for bot lane. Like, they're just getting destroyed now.
Yeah, that advantage.
If this Caitlyn's able to recall early for a BF sword, then that could mean a lot for the red team.
The early CS lead plus those first 2 kills, including first blood, definitely going to spell out a BF sword if she chooses to go for that.
And that's going to snowball a lot into the Dragon fights as well. Like Caitlyn will just be so significantly stronger than Draven, and she also scales better than him, so this could look really well for the red team. Top lane's going to be pretty boring. I don't expect either of them to kill each other.
Yeah, most of the excitement should come from the mid side, especially with those early 2v2s. The Lee Sin picked up an early kill, which doesn't mean much, but he is a bit stronger than Jarvan at this point.
Yeah, Kalen's recalling now. I would hope to see a BF sword.
I'm surprised they're actually not setting up for an early dragon at this point, especially because they know their bot lane is incredibly far ahead. In both EXP and items at this point, I mean, Caitlyn going back for a BF sword was just as good as you can get it.
Well, the one thing is right now, Mundo has TP and Alistar doesn't, so they might be waiting for that. But it should be coming up here pretty soon. And they have complete control over the bottom side of the map. Mid is pretty even. Lissandra's flash is still down.
Lissandra's probably going... I've seen the double Doran into DFG build on Lissandra if you're not going for the Zonia Chalice build, but I think that might be the incorrect approach here, especially with the Wombo combo coming out of WeCanTwerk.
Yona actually recalled without buying any wards besides the pink ward, so they're going to have minimal coverage bot lane.
I think they decided to go for that because they knew Orianna didn't hit 6 hits, so she had no way to like counterplay that, and especially because Lissandra's Ignite came up. But I'm surprised they went before Lissandra hit 6. Like, Lissandra just hit 6 off the creeps that they killed after that, and I feel like if they would have waited just a little bit longer, they might have been able to go for the kill.
This Draven chose to go double Doran, so it's going to delay his BF sword even more than before. So they're going to be behind for quite a while.
Yeah, just that sheer amount of poke damage on that Draven, especially since he has no way to sustain. He can't even walk up to the creep wave at this point. He's being denied EXP, being denied gold. He has to farm at his tower. I'm surprised that the Caitlyn lane isn't just pushing down the tower or like freezing the wave. Especially because they do have like TP on Alistar at this point. There's no reason they shouldn't be setting up for an early dragon with this kind of advantage.
Yeah. Lee Sin should definitely just collect his buffs and head right down.
They do have the vision control there. I'm sure they know that the Jarvan is a bit behind as well. They can't really contest it. The only thing is that Lee Sin hasn't gone for a back in quite a bit of time, whereas Jarvan has gotten a free back twice. So they could be waiting for Lee Sin to spend his gold at this point, but...
looks like they're still focusing mid lane. This could be a really good strong gang. I would have liked to see him Warthog behind the Orianna and kicking him back, but...
The Ori ulti comes out, not really effective. The flash from
head to
Lissandra.
Dragon right now. They should go to Dragon. DP coming bottom lane.
They should just pull the trigger and go for this, especially because Draven hasn't hit 6 here. Yeah, that should be a free kill. I would be surprised if they didn't go for the 4-man dive at this point, or 5-man dive at this point.
But they actually played that pretty well. That was good. And if they get Dragon,
and
that's
this is a
huge
free dragon
lead.
at this point. This is a huge advantage on their side right now. Going up to about 4k gold lead at this point, especially with this tower and dragon. That's as best of a start as you can actually hope for at this point. What I would like to see happen though is after this dragon, Caitlyn backing for more items and continually pressuring either their like mid side or bot side. Make this lead roll out.
I'm surprised they're doing so well in the early game because they were considered the underdogs in the Right.
Really nice use of TP from the Alistar there. Picking up several kills and the bot tower and dragon.
This Draven's going a third Doran's blade. That's very questionable. I don't know exactly what he's thinking right now. He needs to start working on his big items.
That is not the correct route if you are starved for gold as much as he is at
Even
this
if you're
point.
behind, you definitely want to start working on your core items instead of attacking Doran's blades. It's actually putting him even more behind because it's not going to help his laning phase anymore.
The only thing I can think is that he's hoping to bank on his passive at least once and trying to use those extra combat stats from Doran's.
It's going to be really low though.
It'll be really
so
tough.
I mean, he has 40 CS at 10 minutes and he's died twice. His cashing won't be that much.
I can definitely see the Lee Sin camping bot at this point, getting deep vision in that side of the jungle and just continually crushing that bot side because they have a huge lead there.
Yeah.
Not only in EXP, but items clear lead for the Caitlyn and Thresher at this point.
Caitlyn Thresh need to push out bot, get wards in their red jungle, and start pushing mid. They can really snowball the lead. They could even rotate top with Dragon off the
There's a
map.
lot of options here. One thing that WTC has been doing well, though, is definitely getting enough defensive wards on their own river to let them know if the Lee Sin is going to invade. Surprisingly, Lee Sin hasn't chosen to show himself on those wards, as I would more still like him to do, but I think freezing bot lane on this Caitlyn is a huge mistake at this point, especially with a huge lead. I mean, you can make the lead grow exponentially.
They're not really doing
bigger,
anything with it. Like, they're just letting blue catch up.
It feels like they're playing not to lose when they could be playing to just win.
I think they just don't know what to do with Dragon off the map, which is a problem a lot of teams have.
Especially keeping the Thresh in that lane too. That's very questionable. He could be roaming around, he could be making plays, making picks, getting vision with the Lee Sin at this point because he has Sidestone. There's no reason he should be soaking the EXP from the Caitlyn. If they really wanted him to freeze and really wanted him to get ahead, they would let him take the solo EXP. Because at this point, the Caitlyn is strong enough to just 2v1 both Leona and Draven, if played correctly.
She shouldn't even need to, though. Honestly, they can just go into a lane, like middle, and just push it down. Looks like they're all pooling bottom for the second tower bottom. I think it would be more optimal to go for the tower middle, because it opens up the map a lot more. But
I'm surprised the Lissandra didn't choose to keep going bot and possibly go for a dive, especially how far ahead they are. Once again, the item advantage, the EXP advantage is just so far ahead for Hail Hydra at this point. There's no reason that they shouldn't go for it.
a dive middle. A little poorly executed, but they were able to get it. Hopefully they get mid tower here. I really want to see them rotate their bottom lane middle, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Yeah, especially with all the summoners up for Lissandra at this point, I think it'd be pretty safe for them to go ahead and rotate bot, but I think they're going to play it a little bit more safe and just head back, use their extra gold. Dragon should be up relatively
2
soon.
minutes.
I would love to see them take this time to get really deep vision, really push out all the lanes. Either make a pick or take another tower down and then head back to Dragon and make this lead even bigger. And then possibly go for Baron control after that, since they're so far ahead. There's no reason they shouldn't. They should be picking every fight they can right at this point.
Yep. Well, they're recalling now with a minute before Dragon. That's good. They probably want to buy up, control the area of wards, make sure they secure that objective. After that, I would definitely look for either the mid or bot tower now. Or actually, yeah, they could even rotate their bottom lane top and get that tower. That would probably be the safest bet.
There's a minute left to Dragon at this point. Riskier plays are a little frowned on upon at this point. That play, Lissandra would have to go back now if they want to optimally fight for that Dragon. Both top laners have TP at this point.
Southside's destroying window with the headbutt Sheen combo is really strong.
I think drawing the game out more than you need to at this point is a little risky, especially because of the combo. Picks like that just make the Dragon coming up in 20 seconds a lot easier to take for them. It was a really good call on the side of Hail Hydra. 14 minutes in the game right now.
I really don't see the blue
gold
team
lead.
coming back from this. They're already 7k up and Dragon's spawning in 5 seconds. It's going to be really hard, especially with our team comp. Caitlyn currently has an infinity edge on Draven's through Doran's blades. I doubt he even has enough for a PS4.
And they're all going to back for DFG on the side of Lissandra, which is going to be a huge DPS increase for making picks.
Alright, I want to see. Okay, it looks like the Caitlyn and Fish are finally going middle, which is good. They can get a nice seed on the second tower.
In order for WTC to come back in this one, Draven really needs to pick up a kill incredibly soon. Has to maximize on his passive procs and try to catch up with the Caitlyn. In team fights, Caitlyn is going to do tremendously more amount of damage.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what that guy's doing.
Possibly technical difficulties or...
Questionable decisions.
Yes. Very questionable.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I mean, they could be throwing in the towel at this point. 16.5 minutes in, 10k gold behind. Maybe they don't see a way out of this one.
Which, I mean, it's justifiable. I mean, it's... Yeah, if I was blue side in this game, I'd definitely just be thinking about the next game. I really doubt that they can come back with this.
Yeah, taking the time now to think about picks and bans in the next game, maybe taking away the Caitlyn if they want to go for more Draven. Possibly taking with the Lee Sin has been pretty instrumental in making the picks in this game so far. That DFG coming in, basically just soloing with Draven in that fight. This just seems like a landslide going in for Hail Hydra's side.
They probably could have even Baron there, to be honest. They're so far ahead. A 13k gold lead at 17 minutes is ridiculous. I mean, a 3k gold lead at this time in the game is huge. And then another 10k on top of that.
I mean, they do have a really, really strong Lee Sin at this point and should be backing with about 3k gold. I'd be surprised if he... Yeah, 2.6k gold. I'd be surprised if he doesn't come back out with more attack damage. Maybe even... Yeah, that Brutalizer coming out.
So all Red has to do now is just close out the game. They could either go for a Baron and just siege. Honestly, I don't even think they need Baron at this point.
I mean, they can use Baron as a tool to win another team fight, but there's no reason they need the stats on it. They could just go for it. I mean, honestly, at this point, they could just go for a dive with how much farther they are ahead.
It looks like Darwin's getting caught again. That was actually a pretty good flash by him. I was surprised he got out of that.
This is the ideal fight for blue side right now. They landed most of their CC on critical targets under the tower, but I don't think it matters. They're just too far ahead. 14k gold lead before 20 minutes just seems like a mountain they can't climb.
all Red really has to do right now is just siege. They should really just be grouping. But they keep cycling recalls.
All they have to do is mash into a lane, force a team fight. 14k gold ahead at this point in the game is several items on each member ahead.
Yeah, I mean, just look at Caitlyn. She has Infinity. Infinity Edge and Phantom Dancer, and Aldrin has a BF sword. That is incredibly huge. Especially on a champ like Draven where you have to snowball early.
Yeah, just the pick potential on that side with the Thresh hooks, with the Lissandra ulti, with the Alistar combos. And even the insect plays coming out of the Lee Sin. Yeah, that should be the game there. 30-second death timer. I don't expect Oriana to be able to defend.
Yeah, that was a
against
nice
five
order.
members.
I doubt they can end, actually. Well, maybe. We'll see. If Ori can clear the wave, but regardless, the game is pretty over.
And that should be the first game for the red side here. Pretty decisively. Up 20 kills at 22 minutes in the game. Caitlyn's auto-attacking the Nexus.
Is this the comeback?
The double kill for Draven could be it. They could just push down mid and end the game now.
They should go for Baron there now. It'd work out great. They can't really even do anything. Maybe grab Dragon, but
I don't think any of them are actually strong enough to clear the super minions coming down mid at this point.
Pretty sure Lissandra can solo hold this. Yeah, they should just go for Dragon, honestly. Oh god.
Yeah, the dive on Lissandra a little risky. It does
worked
pay
out
off
though.
for them.
I think if Lissandra played it a little better, she might have been able to kill a lot of people, but that's unfortunate. Oh. They really should be pushing another lane. Well, I don't know.
I think they're just having fun with the gold lead at
Yeah,
this point.
I guess the Nexus is open.
Yeah.
It's pretty over.
They could be just padding stats, going for the KDA. More flashy plays. And that should be game one of this set. Going over to red side. Really deciding fact.
Very well played from red side.